come on now. Boom die. Alright. Come in at the dance hall. Rock and come on now. Alright. Listen reggae music, it a play with the culture. You see what me say run away, as fast as you can. What am I saying? What am I saying? And I say run away, as fast as you can. The other day was world. He can see the madness that's going on. Whoa. He can see the people who are hiding. Yeah. Well, right now, I'm gonna play one more instrumental, and then I'm going night. So take a listen to this. These styles are the original music that I used to listen to when I was a boy, and I make them back again. See? So take a listen to this style. Listen. Yeah, let's show you. Original reggae. Mellow Vibes style. Listen. My name is Murrayman, seeing representing Mellow Vibes Studio, Birmingham, UK. See? Yeah man, strictly reggae music me I deal with the whole genre. I started building Mellow Vibes in 1998, you know? And with my first release I made two 12-inch. The 12 inches were Lovers Rock music. And one of them got very successful, you know? So, you know, a lot of people in London was playing the music, got good exposure, of a new artist, and a new record label, you know? In enjoying what the people liked, you know, what I was doing in the music, I continue another year to try and put better music and work with good producers and engineers and musicians to give me the ideas to make better music for the record label. In this time I was already musically minded, so to build Mellow Vibes I took my steps to make it stronger, and every year I try my best to put out good music and produce and sing, you know, as well as try to make rhythms and stuff. I got noticed in 2001, you know, by multimedia services who make more distribution of records into Europe. You know, also moving with a man called Rastinny in London, you know, helped me and to do tours around Europe. You know, so it made exposure to sell my music and to push the Mellow Vibes label. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was singing in the dance halls and singing in the shows on sound system, live bands, you know. And you know, it was just exciting that a new generation of the European people, you know, want reggae music, you know. So I stick with it because it's something that I really wanted to be a part of.
Yeah.
Teaching tonight, see, one roasting, play music. Come on, I want to see everybody dancing. One. One more time, see. All up. I want to see everybody dancing. Say, yeah, the last night of Cork. No, I can't hear it, no man. No, happy. Say, yeah. Musical teaching before Abashanti. See Murrayman there, roasting. Yes, obviously it's changing very fast now because the internet is making it available, because the new genre of people now are purchasing download, and the old school people are still buying vinyl. So when they try to put vinyl underground, it makes it more difficult for the people to actually put the vinyl underground, because there is a public demand for people who sponsor the real artists to buy the record than to actually buy the download, where other companies take a percentage, you know. So the internet is very helpful to to broaden the horizon of the music network. You know, not only in reggae music, but in music in general. You know what I mean? So the selling, it has changed. It's evolving also. But people still want the two side of the business. They still want the vinyl, and them still want the download and the CD.
Can you dig it? Because right now, you know, it's more than a roots thing, you know, with the musical teaching scene. It's not all about 4/4 scene. It's about music and melodies scene. It's not all about computer. It's about using real instruments sometimes, scene, and mixing the two of them together. So right now, sometimes we go back to the foundation and we move forward, see?
To help the youth them of today, it's in the music industry, it's already technology helping the youths to develop the music, because before, in yesteryear, like in the 90s, it was an age where you couldn't have a studio in your bedroom now, or in your home, because we used to have to go to proper recording places for the voices. So the technology has moved now to let people have programs on a PC. You just need a good sound card, a keyboard, and a microphone, and you have a virtual kind of studio. But for instrument-wise, to learn to play instrument is a very important thing. You know what I mean? So I, in Mellow Vibes, use, part instruments, real guitars sometimes, and real instruments of players, because you cannot get the real feel of a computer sound only from the samples that everybody use in the program, So to use real instruments to give your definition of a real feel is something that we need to keep. So my thing to the youths is to try and keep some realness in the music and not take everything from the virtual reality of the computer. I mean, right now, Murray, man, is just a normal person, because I'm down to earth, I come from a working background, I always work, I have a job, I have, things to take care of just like everybody else, a family and a home, and, everything in what I do, I share amongst the people, And if there's an adventure and I know it can benefit somebody and not myself, if it's not for me, I can pass it to a next person. I think that's the way we should live. Each one teach one. So you can learn something. There is no age to learn anything, and there's no age to take talking. We can never say never, because maybe there is a chance you can get through. So to all the fans out there, my conscious message are the real words of life. It's the roads that we are going through. So from I sing the beginning roots tune them of treading the road, right up to the King of Ethiopia. There are true songs of words that I feel in my heart.
Nobody ever push war and violence and nuclear weapons and still bringing gun in the country. Watch a man, nobody ever give a fight and give a problem. You know what I'm saying? Oh yeah, oh yeah.
The best advice somebody ever gave me in my life was my father, I got in trouble with some people, and I went to jail, and in this story what my father told me, he said to me he never do nothing wrong to achieve what he wanted to achieve to bring the family, so I should never do something wrong to try and feed myself and not do something legitimate for myself. So always go out and look for your own way and avenue to find your way of life. So my way is do it yourself, you know. So my avenue is, you know, I learned the hard way to try and work and develop my life the best way I can.
Okay.
Yeah, I've been to South Africa, been to Madagascar, Reunion Island, in the Indian Ocean, been to France, Paris, Italy, Spain, Austria, Germany, Switzerland, you know what I mean, Sardinia, Sicily. You know what I mean, there's quite a few places, yes, I have toured and you know, sing my styles and my music to the people, you know.
Yeah.
And for me, it's a great experience, you know, because I see all different creeds of color. Love the roots music and the music and the message I sing to the people, which I believe, you know, when artists go on tour, they should tour and give the performance back to the people to show them you have the energy to perform the song that they love, you know. Yeah, I listen to all kinds of music, you know, because in growing up in the UK, you know, we used to always like to see the reggae artists come through the national charts, you know. It wasn't only Bob Marley and Ken Boothe and the Dennis Brown and the Greg Riser, you know. We had deep roots music that was like #1 records that was not published by the top companies, you know, and you know, like Hugh Mandel and, you know, Junior Mervyn and, you know, there's many artists that influenced me in the music, you know. Laurel Atkins, you know, was a long time man who used to not only DJ on the Rocksteady and the early reggae music, but he was also a pioneer of making rhythms. You know what I mean? So, you know, all the rhythm makers of yesteryear, Studio One, Treasure Isle, it was the era of my father. So my father used to buy these records and used to have them at home, you know. So I grew up in not in a music family, but my father loved to listen to music, and that music grew with me from I was probably 5 years old, you know. And I take part in music from maybe 11 years old. Everybody realize I don't want to dance. I want to sing and hum the track. So everybody know I want to do something.
Yeah.
Because living in the UK, my father always went back to Jamaica every year to bring back music, to see the family, to take some sunshine, and come back to England to support the family, you know. So it was always he bring back the music, you know. So it was a great inspiration for me in these early days to listen the tracks, listen the words of love, listen the words of the culture of the early roots music that was playing at the time, you know. Well, you can find Mellow Vibes music in Dub Vendor online, you know, in the UK. You can also find my music in Patat Records in Paris. Also Black Catalog website on the internet, Roots and Culture website, Jawagi's website. Also, you know, you can email mellowvibes@hotmail.co.uk. We also do a post and package service above 10 records, you know. You know, the post and package must be above 10, and we can post you. Same for the CD sales, which we will soon have available.
People don't obey the laws of child. And when it comes to judgment, yes, they're gonna face the Father. For the good and bad, what you've done in this life, yes, he knows what's wrong and what's right, and everything that you do will get justified. Well, so what you gonna do when your back's against the wall? Oh yeah, some will stand firm and some will crumble and fall. Yes,
Yes.
Last time.